South London, Brixton Hill, home to one of the most well-known gang in the UK.
They impose their will on others through violence, be that knives, firearms, or through any other means. They are relentless.
In this video, we're going to be looking at a gang member labelled as the Godfather of UK Drill, the frontman of the gang 6-7, a man some people knew as Scribz but changed to LD. Like always, I'm going to try to keep this video brief and sweet and not go too in depth into everything, but touch on the history of LD and how he let the street life take control when he was already at the top of his game and the pioneer of the scene. In order to fully understand LD, we have to quickly go back into the history of the gang 6-7. You see, 6-7 first started off as BHB, an abbreviation of Brixton Hill Bullies. A 5-minute drive away on Angel Town Estate, you had the gang 150, which used to be called Gas Gang. And during that time, both gangs were cool with each other, even releasing tunes in which you can see 6-7 members as features. Around the early 2010s, things will start to change, and because of many things, the Brixton gangs will be split up, with BHB now calling themselves 6-7 and beefing with Gas Gang, now known as 150. It was said that one of the reasons for the beef was because of the death of Lil Zach, a 15-year-old kid who was part of another Brixton gang called TM1 who had beef with Gas Gang. To keep things short, essentially Lil Zach was stabbed to death by members of Gas Gang, and it left a bitter taste in the mouths of BHB, who was civil with both Gas Gang and TM1. Fast forward to December 10th, 2013, 150 drops one of the first ever drill songs in the UK called It's Crackin', which was a direct diss track at 6-7.
The Brits try to send for sticks, them cracking. It's getting killed, the shit's been a drill. Bitches cracking, what you want?
It's safe to say that 6-7 didn't take this lightly, and just 2 months after, they dropped their own tune called It's Frying, dissing 150 with the exact same beat.
About you're in the field, you're just in your crib. Stop lying. You got smoky things and we smoking things. Frying.
But the thing that's interesting about this video is the name Scribz in the title and the face of Scribz without a mask, which we're going to touch on in just a minute. The thing is, during 2014, 6-7 will start gaining a lot of popularity, mainly because of the rapper Scribz, who would release tunes that would get wiped off the internet and would always be in trouble with the law.
Look at the undies trying to follow, man.
You lot treat man too foul. Why am I going in handcuffs? Why am I going in handcuffs? Why are you putting me in handcuffs? Why
should I put my phone down?
There's also some unknown throwback video of Scribz in some weird tune with this American rapper, and shout out to this guy for even being able to find the video. With all that being said, in the exact same year, Scribz would be slapped with an ASBO, an antisocial behaviour order which banned him from making or performing music for 2 years. This ASBO didn't stop Scribz, and he would go on to change his name to LD, which is what many people across the UK now know him as. LD will now cover his face with a silver mask, but before he got this mask, he would use a black bandana and drop the tune Live Corn on YouTube.
Spot 674 run bricky. I don't rap cause I'm trying to get a deal. I'm still out here trying to eat a meal. I spend whole nights lurking in the...
Live Corn did numbers, now sitting at 7 million views. By the time in 2014, it really put 6-7 on the map and established LD as a frontman of the 6-7 group. 6-7 would continue to rack up millions on every tune and start getting eyes onto the UK drill scene. LD would now start wearing his famous silver mask and drop banger after banger, being classed as the face of the UK drill for that time. He dropped tunes like Church and Gold Remix that would get millions of views, and he would feature in a lot of songs that racked up numbers. 6-7 was taken off and in 2016 got nominated for a Mobile for the best newcomer.
gas, there, you get me, feel me? Finally, drillers there. Drillers on red carpet. Crazy.
We're here. You never see drillers on red carpet for the first time
on red carpet.
People forget how well known and big LD was, having tracks with names like K-Trap, Dizzy Rascal, Young Ads, and even Skepta himself. It was even said that LD was with Skepta on his tour. Despite being jailed for 6 months back in 2017 for possession of a knife, everything was going well for LD. His music career was taking off, and being upheld as the Godfather of UK Drill was a brag on its own. On the other side of the coin, the 6-7 gang war was getting heavier by the day. 7th of December 2019, things go left, as both the biggest members of 6-7, LD and ASAP, get arrested for a county line operation where they're shipping Class A drugs from South London to Basingstoke in Hampshire. Both LD and ASAP got slapped with 4.5 years behind bars, and were also getting an order banning them from having an unregistered SIM card for 8 years. This was a setback for LD as people were confused why he was still doing county line operations despite being a massive person in the music scene and can easily make his way to being a top UK artist. It was also clear that LD was a massive person for 6'7" because as soon as he got locked up, the gang would go quiet, not really releasing much. Until 6'7" member PR Sad came into the scene and had the UK talking again about 6'7". I made a video on PR Sad and his history of being one of the most violent GMs in the UK if you guys want to check it out after this video. Also, if you made it this far, it probably means you're enjoying the video, so drop a like and subscribe to support the channel. On November 16th, 2021, footage will come out on socials of LD being released.
Come on, my boy.
My boy's got some muscles now though.
You know, Tanisha's back just hit me up with the 22s though. The Travis. My boy Travis with the Mary Jet.
Come on, I'm my boy back in the cup.
Many people gasped for LD's return, and he even released a tune called First Day Out, where he had a heartfelt phone call with his mum and Bible verses across the screen.
I want to say so much, but we'll talk properly later. I read my Psalms though, Psalm 35 and Psalm 91 as I woke this morning.
It also won't be long from his release until LD drops a daily duppy on Grime Daily. The song does well and LD will continue releasing music, even featuring in a tune with NSG, who are making a lot of noise globally at the time. LD was bigger than ever and being recognised not just in the UK but in the US as well. He even did interviews where he explained how he was an innocent man and the Met Police were using his past to get him locked up. Fast forward to November 2022, 6'7" will be in the news after a 6'7" member called Itch was shot dead by a police officer after he tried to escape him by ramming into their cars. This case can be a whole video on its own, but essentially Itch, whose real name is Chris Cabba, was involved in a nightclub shooting where he shot a rival gang member in the fight and ran after him to shoot him again in the leg. Itch managed to get away at the time, but was later stopped by police for a separate incident regarding the number plate of the car he was driving being linked to a separate unrelated shooting. This was when Cabba, or Itch, tried ramming his car into the police to escape and was shot in the head. From this story of Chris Cabba, things start getting really confusing in the scene, with a lot of misinformation being spread. After the Chris Cabba nightclub shooting, information came out that LD got slapped with 9 years behind bars, and most people linked it to this case of Cabba. It was originally believed that LD was involved in a nightclub shooting with 6'7" members, Bams and C-Rolls. Thanks to this post on Reddit UK Drill, it clears up the situation and actually explains that LD was not involved in the nightclub shooting, but also why we may not see LD for a very long time. LD and 6'7" member Mental K were involved in a separate incident and got 9 years each for what some people say was gun charges and others say was a stabbing of a rival gang member at a house party. It's hard to find some concrete information on what the actual charges were, but LD was given an EDS, which means he had to serve at least 2/3 of his sentence before he can even be released. With all this taken into account, LD might come out around 2027 or 2028, but looking at his record and his previous convictions, this date might be a lot longer. The fact that LD is back in prison for even longer this time is truly disappointing, as LD had everything to become a massive star, not just in the UK but globally. He's got a true talent for music, but he just can't seem to leave the road life behind, which is a problem with a lot of these drill rappers like Yanko and even Digga D. As of 2024, whilst in prison, LD posted a tune called Rolling 60s, in which you can see many 6'7" members' face blurred out, most famously PR Sad's face. The tune is projected to hit 1 million views, but it just goes to show you that LD actually likes making music, but the gang life just keeps holding him back. The tune Rolling 60s might be one of the last times we hear about the Godfather of UK Drill, 6'7" LD, or the once teenager who had a vision of making it big, Scribz. If you take anything from this video, let it be that the gang life is not somewhere you want to be. As you can see from this video, it only ends in 2 ways, prison or death. With all that being said, drop a like and comment if I missed anything that should have been included in this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.